Vicarious Visions, Jeff, on a bit of a hot streak of late as they came out with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake, which was fire. Probably one of the greatest remakes I've ever played. Like, you couldn't ask for more from it. Everything was damn near spot on, including like online play and a whole bunch of shit that wasn't even in the original games. And also they did the Crash Bandicoot remake, which also went over extremely well recently. So they're doing really good work of overhauling. Like, those are two very different genres. Like, you got Crash Bandicoot on one side and Tony Hawk fucking Pro Skater on the other. That is some depth to your team to be able to remake those things. Well, unfortunately, as a subsidiary of Activision looked at their what's supposed to be, sister company or whatever in Blizzard, and said, "Hey, you guys are sucking some balls right now. You need some help." And so they took Vicarious Visions off of like making everyone else's games dope and said, "All right, you're gonna work exclusively as a Blizzard developer now." And so now they are. So Vicarious Visions has now been folded into Blizzard and is now the top rumor, if not confirmed. They are going to be the ones in charge of doing the Diablo 2 remake, which was already rumored to be a thing and was obviously going to happen. Hopefully, because Vicarious Visions are at the helm, hopefully that's good news for Blizzard, for not necessarily Blizzard, but for Diablo 2 as a remake. They've got a good track record of remakes. Hopefully they can continue that fucking streak. But to go alongside of that, and what Panic actually just said in chat, my last note here, is that they also, according to Jason Schreier, Team 1, Blizzard's quote-unquote classic team, was dismantled back in the fall. And so, I know we've said this multiple times, but whatever you guys would have considered Blizzard to be is super gone. Like, long dead, ultra instinct dead, in the ground, nothing left, buried deep, and now Vicarious Visions is being hired on to do Blizzard's work. So, remember when Jeff and I said that, that it was soon not going to be Activision Blizzard, but just Activision? Start checking your calendar. That shit is inching closer and closer and closer as time goes on. On one hand, I feel bad for Vicarious Visions because they were doing so well, just doing what they were doing, and to be shoehorned into one specific role at Blizzard, which is a company that's struggling, is, I guess, like maybe a good challenge for them. They're getting paid all the same, but I would have preferred to see them continue to do other shit instead of just being like Blizzard's bitch boy because their shit's falling apart. But either way, what do you think about Diablo 2 as a remake? We played Diablo 2 growing up. Played Diablo 1, mostly Diablo 2 though. I think a lot of people would like Diablo 2 because Diablo 3 was not everyone's favorite thing. Was Diablo 3 the game that you streamed taking the disc out and like breaking on the floor? Was that Diablo 3?
I think it was Diablo 3. Yes, man. I think I broke the shit out of that. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I used to be such a Blizzard fanboy, and now I just don't care anymore. Like, I'm just like, I just don't care. Like, I mean, great. I'm great. Yes. Give us a good Diablo 2.
But then what, right?
Give us a good Diablo 2. Make me re-fall in love with Blizzard again. Give the people what they want. It's a classic game. Nobody's going to complain if a good Diablo 2 remake happens. These guys get a good track record. It's a great pickup for Blizzard. Vicarious Visions got an opportunity right now to really, like, if they can make Blizzard look good,
they can do anything.
Their stonk is going to go up, like fucking GameStop stonk. You know what I mean? So, all the power to them. At least Blizzard is at least buying talent at this point, seeing as though they fired all of their talent or they just like ran them out. So it looks like they're on their knees, and they're who knows? Maybe they'll just ruin these guys' reputation. Hopefully they're just getting paid so much that, like, to them, it doesn't matter. And they can just go, well, it was Blizzard. Blizzard doing what Blizzard always does. It's not our fault. We had this game and they, had our nuts in a vice grip and said, no, you have to change this, and this. And it needs to be more mobile friendly because they want to make gajillion dollars in China. And we told them no, but they want it anyway. And this is what happens. Hey, that very well might happen. And I would say it's more likely to happen than not to happen.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if we get a good Diablo 2 remake, nobody's going to complain about it.
You know what I want to know? And I thought about this after just thinking about, what has Blizzard even done in like the last while? And what first came to my mind was, what the fuck happened to Overwatch 2? That was supposed to be out in like the spring.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't heard a whisper about Overwatch 2 in a hot fucking minute.
Does anybody care? Seriously.
That's another question. How many people give a fuck about Overwatch 2? I mean, I'm sure there are millions of people still playing Overwatch, but like, is it, like, do we need...
Overwatch 2 is going to be like Fortnite Chapter 2. That's what it's going to end up being.
Yeah, did it even need to exist? It's like, well, I'm like, just keep pumping out content for Overwatch. Why does it have to be two?
For them, it does, because the game is dying. It's pretty much
It's just
dead.
a marketing refresh?
100%. That's what it is. It's trying to recapture some of the old players that once loved the game. But the issue is when the game first came out, there wasn't much going on in the industry. It was League of Legends and like CSGO, StarCraft. Now you've got everything. I mean, Twitch is not what it used to be. And I'm speaking on a Twitch thing because let's keep it real. Overwatch is an esport driven game. That's their whole marketing play. That was
their dream.
They threw everything and 5 kitchen sinks at this whole esports Twitch thing. They had fake botted numbers and fucking all this craziness. And the only things I see of Overwatch now are ex-players or current players and personalities shitting on the game. That's all I see. So I have a feeling within a 5-year period, Overwatch will be another Heroes of the Storm. It's gonna go. If not, you never know. You might not even see Overwatch 2 at this point. You probably will because they've dumped so much money into it. But my guess is it ain't gonna last long. It'll give it a small little pop, and then it'll just fizzle right back to where it was. And yeah, it'll be like 3 years of dragging it in the mud. And that's the show. Nobody really cares. Nobody talks about Overwatch. I mean, it's not in my circle. So, I mean, I probably don't see it like somebody else that's sort of in that circle. But like, even other games that I'm not in that circle, I hear about all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in this industry. You know what I mean? Like, nobody talks about Overwatch. And when I say nobody, I mean the vast majority of people. It's not in their vocabulary. It's why? Why do you need number 2? It's like a sequel to a movie that like everybody went to the theater to watch and it made a bunch of money. And then everybody realized that it wasn't a good movie. They like got home and they thought about it. And then they're like, man, do I buy this on digital? And they're like, nah.
I feel like they went Overwatch. I feel like this was the timeline. They went Overwatch 1. It booms, right? Overwatch was fucking huge, right? Then they go, all right, we need to spin this into an esport while the iron, strike while the iron's hot. They go balls deep on an esport, and they commit the cardinal sin of trying to force an esport before it's actually happened grassroots, and the getting support in the reverse is so much harder than having grassroots adopt it first and then coming up and supporting the grassroots as a company later on. It almost never works when you try and force an esport, but they decide to fucking go ahead and do that fucking shit anyway. And so they go in and do it, and then when it does well for a time and then drops off the face of the fucking earth, they go, all right, we need a way to reinvigorate the name, because they were already coming out with kind of like co-op and single-player-ish PvE content within Overwatch 1. The game visually still looks phenomenal. There's no graphical update you desperately need in Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 is just a 2 by name as far as I'm concerned for just marketing purposes, right? It's just to get people talking about Overwatch again, because like you just said, nobody's fucking talking about Overwatch. So, you know, it looks at this point like, as far as Blizzard's concerned, it's going to pump out remakes of whatever is left in their tank, mobile games of the same games they're just doing remakes of and their internal shit, and then Blizzard's gonna go bye-bye. Yep. Activision's gonna
This is Activision.
It's just gonna be Activision. Blizzard's
Pump
gonna go
more
away.
COD.
Yeah.
That's what this
Open up
does.
the Battle.net launcher and tell me how many games are Blizzard and how many games are Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right?
That's where we're at.
So
the old Blizzard's dead, guys. StarCraft's dead. Heroes of the Storm is dead. The only thing you got is World of Warcraft. That's like the thing that's breathing, and it's because they went classic and they breathed some life into it, and they actually did well. Like they did good by it. Everything else is gone, man. Diablo pretty much dead. They're all dead. It's gone. Nobody can. Overwatch dead. Blizzard's gone. It's over.
And Blizzard's not using, and even current Blizzard isn't working on new IPs. It's literally just mobile games and shit. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
It's
So
crazy.
Anyway.